After my father passed away, I decided to split the $3 million inheritance between my mom and myself. Not long after the funeral, Jack looked through the inheritance papers without asking me. He said to me, "Kelly, don't be so greedy. Finally, I can quit my job. I should thank that old fool." "Old fool? Are you talking about my dad?" I asked, shocked. Ignoring my reaction, Jack and his mom started talking excitedly about buying a new car and going shopping. I couldn't believe what was happening. I felt like I was about to explode. I'd been doing all the housework, giving them money, and now they were insulting my father too. I didn't want to live with Jack and his mom anymore. I forced myself to smile and said, "Sure, you and your mom can use the money however you want. My name is Kelly Cohan. I'm 38 and a housewife. I work with my husband. My parents were doctors and ran a respected clinic in our hometown. As their only child, I grew up with lots of love. After graduating from pharmacy school, I got a job at a big pharmaceutical company. Even though my parents had hoped I'd become a doctor, they supported my choice. 10 years ago, my mom died suddenly in an accident. My dad and I were heartbroken. Jack, who was my boyfriend at the time, helped me through that difficult time. We had met through a mutual friend, and 2 years after my mom's death, Jack proposed to me. He worked an average job in the food industry. I made more money than him, but I believed that love would be enough to get through anything. My dad was really happy when I told him the news. He said, "I heard Jack was there for you, Kelly. Thank you, Jack. Please keep taking care of her." Jack stood tall and replied, "I'll make her happy." I felt so lucky standing beside him. The next week, we went to his mother's house to share our wedding plans. She was wearing heavy makeup and had divorced Jack's dad. She looked me up and down and said, "So this is who you're marrying? Isn't she a bit plain? She's older too. Wouldn't a younger, prettier girl be better?" Jack quickly answered, "Mom, you know M Pharmaceuticals? Kelly works there. Her dad is a doctor and owns a clinic." I hoped Jack would talk about my personality, but instead, he pointed out my money and background. His mom's attitude changed immediately. "Oh, you should have told me that earlier. That's different. I approve of the marriage. Nice to meet you, Kelly." "Thank you," I said. Jack was so happy his mom agreed, but something didn't feel right to me. We moved forward with our wedding plans. Before we registered the marriage, my dad, who was also a smart investor, gave me a luxury apartment in New York City as a wedding gift. I told Jack, "Dad gave us this apartment as a gift. Let's live here and be happy together." Jack smiled, and our married life began. After we got married, I noticed something troubling. Jack had lived with his parents before, and he didn't know how to do housework. He couldn't cook, didn't know how to use the washing machine, and didn't want to learn. He would leave his trash all over the place and never bothered to throw it away. I wanted us to share the chores, but Jack didn't care, and that made me unhappy. During our first year of marriage, I did all the housework by myself. I complained a little but tried to ignore it. We were still in the honeymoon phase. But I got really tired from work and doing all the chores alone. I couldn't keep up anymore. In the second year, I decided to talk seriously with Jack about sharing chores. I told him honestly how upset I was. But Jack didn't thank me or try to change. He said, "I'm tired from work too. You're better at chores than me. It's easier if you just do them." After that, Jack rarely helped with housework. I was left doing almost everything. But there was another problem too. After marrying Jack, I found out his mom was also difficult. Jack didn't care much about special days, so I wanted to send his mom a nice scarf and flowers for Mother's Day. I picked a good scarf from a department store, but his mom sounded unhappy on the phone. She said the scarf wasn't from a famous brand and it was ridiculous to send something without a big name. I tried to tell her the scarf was good quality, but she didn't listen. She said she only wanted something from a very famous luxury brand. I was shocked and told Jack what his mother said when he came home. But instead of understanding me, Jack said, "What? It's just being nice, just do what she wants." Jack didn't support me. After that, we started giving his mother money whenever she asked. By our 5th year of marriage, she came to our house often and always asked for money. Jack never complained and always smiled when he gave her money. Even though I had a job, Jack's pay was small, and we barely managed to live. I had to use our savings to help pay the bills. I was upset but knew Jack loved his mother. She had helped me during hard times, so I told myself, she's important to someone I care about, and tried to be patient. Now, in our 8th year of marriage, I still do all the housework and keep giving money to my mother-in-law. One day, my father, whom I hadn't seen in a long time, called me suddenly. He told me something very sad. He had serious cancer and couldn't get better. I cried a lot, feeling heartbroken. My father gently touched my head like he did when I was little and said, "Kelly, This is fate. Let's accept it quietly. I asked him. Dad, why you? From then on, I had to manage work, house chores, and visits to my father in the hospital. Work was flexible, but taking care of the house was hard. When I told Jack I would care for my dad, he didn't react or offer help. He just said, "It's tough, but do your best." Jack visited my father only once. I was so busy caring for my dad that I didn't have time for Jack. If I had time, I wanted to spend it with my dad. One day, while my father was in the hospital, he asked me, "Kelly, how is your marriage with Jack?" I was surprised and thought about Jack's behavior and his mother's attitude. I couldn't answer. Seeing I was quiet, my father said, "Kelly, you don't have to suffer. Think about your own happiness. After I'm gone, you won't have any troubles." I cried, and my father held my hand quietly but firmly. 3 months later, my father passed away peacefully. I was very sad and started planning the funeral. Jack didn't care about my grief and didn't help with any of the funeral plans. But I was so busy with the funeral that I didn't pay much attention to Jack. Many friends and family came to say goodbye to my dad. Even Jack and his mother came to the funeral, though they didn't show much feeling. After the funeral, a lawyer called me about my father's inheritance. I made an appointment to meet and listened carefully. What I learned was new and surprising. After paying taxes, my father's estate was worth over $3 million. He had earned money as a doctor and also invested in real estate. All the money was left to me, his only daughter. I was shocked and grateful but also nervous about handling so much money. I started the process to get the inheritance. When I got home, I spread the lawyer's papers on my desk and read them. I was so tired I fell asleep on the sofa for a little while. When I woke up, I heard Jack and his mother talking happily. "Jack, and your mom? When did you get here?" I asked. Jack came over smiling and said, "Good job, Kelly." I was confused. Then I saw he was holding the inheritance papers. "Wait, don't read those without asking me," I said, angry that Jack looked at the papers without permission. But my mother-in-law just smiled and said, "Wow, $3 million? That's great, now we can live well forever." I didn't understand why she was so excited. Then Jack said seriously, "I've decided to split the $3 million between me and my mom." This was just after my father's funeral. Jack had looked at the inheritance papers, without asking, and said to me, "Kelly, don't be greedy, now I can finally quit my job. I have to thank that old man." "Old man? Are you talking about my dad?" I said, shocked. Jack ignored me and said, "Let's finish this and put the money into our joint account quickly." Jack and his mom started talking about buying a new car and going shopping. I couldn't hold back my anger anymore. I was tired of doing all the housework, always giving them money, and now they were insulting my father. Trying not to lose my temper, I forced a smile and said, "Sure, use the money however you and your mom want." My mother-in-law happily said, "That's right, Kelly, good to agree fast, now work hard to earn more. I don't want our savings to go down." I just nodded and listened, feeling upset. After that, Jack and his mom acted like they were rich. Jack quit his job quickly, and my mother-in-law started living with us all the time. They came home every day with expensive luxury items. The fancy restaurant we went to wasn't as good as I thought. Yeah, it was a bit boring, for us, the fancy people. They talked like they were rich stars but left all the housework to me, like I was their maid. Jack thought the $3 million would arrive soon. He took money from our joint account carelessly, and my savings of $100,000 began to disappear fast. When I complained, Jack just laughed. "What, $3 million is coming soon, spending like this isn't a problem." I told him. I stopped the spending, but he ignored me. Then, 1 month later, Jack and his mother suddenly went on a trip to Hawaii. They didn't invite me and left me alone at home. After they left, I decided it was time to do something. About a week later, while I was relaxing at home, I heard a loud knock on the door. I looked at the intercom and saw Jack and my mother-in-law wearing aloha shirts standing outside. What do you want?" I asked, trying to stay calm and cold. Jack, angry, shouted, "Why won't the door open?" I answered confidently through the intercom, "Because I changed the locks, so it won't open." "What? Why?" Jack yelled. "Let's talk calmly at a nearby cafe. You go ahead, I'll join you soon," I said. After yelling some more, Jack and his mom left for the cafe. When I saw they were gone, I went there too. At the cafe, Jack and his mother were waiting, both very angry. "Why did you change the locks? Give us the new keys now," Jack demanded. "No, you don't get the keys, you both have to leave this house," I said calmly. I then showed them a paper, a divorce petition I had already filled out. "Divorce? Are you serious?" Jack shouted. His mother was shocked too. "Kelly, why are you doing this? I spoke quietly, watching them panic. By the way, you've been spending a lot of money, are you sure you have enough? What money? It's fine, Jack said, spitting as he talked. Your father's inheritance is coming, right? There's still over $50,000 in our joint account, I'll show you. Jack took out his phone and opened the banking app, but his face quickly changed. What? Why is the money gone? It was here just a few days ago. His mother looked at her phone too, confused. I told them the truth as they got more upset. The money is gone because I moved the $50,000 to my account. I'm divorcing you, so I took my share. What do you mean? Jack shouted. He looked angry, then suddenly smiled like he remembered something. Fine, I'll divorce you, but you have to give me the inheritance from your dad. Isn't property split half and half in a divorce? You're wrong, I said. The inheritance I got from my dad doesn't count as marital property, so it's not shared. There was a silence, then their faces changed. They must have thought they would get part of the inheritance, but now they knew they wouldn't. I was shocked and could only sigh in disbelief. No, that can't be true, that's impossible. My mother-in-law's face turned red with anger and denial. Check it yourself, I said, a little teasing. Jack quickly searched on his phone. It says here? Property inherited from a parent belongs to one spouse only. It can't be split between both spouses. What, really? His mother looked at the screen, shocked. Then Jack came to me, begging. Kelly, please don't divorce me. I have no savings and no job. How will I live if you leave me? I spoke firmly to him. What are you saying? You need to take responsibility for what you did. I will never forget how you treated me. I'm divorcing you. I'll go to court if I have to. Jack and his mother were scared because they had never seen me so strong. They backed away quietly. I left the cafe feeling strong. Later, Jack and I finished the divorce without problems. The $50,000 I moved from our joint account was counted as his part of the shared money. I finally got Jack and his mother out of my house. Jack spent all the money from the divorce and was left with nothing. He also had big bills from the Hawaii trip and credit card debts. Now, they live in a small, old apartment and work hard every day to pay off what they owe. Their rich lifestyle is now a distant memory, and it shocked them a lot. I sold the condo I shared with Jack and moved into my father's apartment. I still work, but with the inheritance from my father, I live comfortably. I am grateful to my late father and want to start fresh. I want to protect my happiness and live peacefully from now on.